Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in on the Brand New Media Show today. Today, I have a special person on the show. His name is Michal Modonski. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about his background history. Michal has a master's degree in sports, over a decade of experience in the fitness industry, over 2 decades as a back therapist and a chiropractor, and since 2011, worked as a life, small business, stress and anger management coach. Also in 2011, working as a clinical hypnosis, is that right?
Yes, hypnotist, yes.
Okay, and specialize in transition in life and career and stress management. He also is the mental health ambassador, a researcher, public speaker, and the list goes on. And we'll be talking about the issues with mental health. Welcome, Michal.
Hello, Brenda. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about the importance of mental health. Let's let everybody understand the importance of mental health.
Yes, that's something very important and something that we are not aware of. Simply when, well, even if we go to school, we learn about human body and we learn how it works. We generally know what happens if someone is wounded, injured. We know that we get ill, that we have high temperature, that we can get a flu, we can get a lot of other diseases, and we keep on talking about this as we're going through it. Mm-hmm. What we don't talk about at all is our emotions. Children are usually told to be quiet, to listen, to obey. They are told not to cry. It's even for us as a grown-ups, we usually hear if someone gets irritated, first what comes to mind is just calm down. When we don't want to be calm, we want to express our emotions, and all those emotions from, well, very early age are being suppressed inside of us. And sooner or later, they whether come out or they going to put the pressure on us from the inside. And that's something that, well, public cannot see. Everyone can see straight away when we have a broken arm. But no one can see a broken heart, broken mind. And that's a very serious issue those days. Well, that's, as an introduction, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
So first and foremost, we need to talk about how we feel. We need to learn to let it out, and we need to learn to have around someone who's letting the emotions out. So if our child, our friend gets emotional, well, just let's encourage him or her to do it so they can let out all the emotions, because that's when they will be ready to talk about what happened. That's how we heal, by letting it go.
By letting it go. Let me let the audience know. Michal, he's from Poland. If you're wondering where that beautiful accent is from, he's from Poland, but he lives in the UK. Okay, so let's elaborate on. It's a growing number of suicide, especially since COVID. Elaborate a little on that.
Yes, well, that was the time when a lot of businesses went down. A lot of people just lost faith in everything. And there is another thing that I wanted to mention here as well. There is a huge difference in if we look at numbers, strictly numbers. It's not what my friend told me. It's not what we talk about when we, well, in a changing room, in a gym, it's nothing that, well, people just can make up. They are statistics. And those statistics say that in the US, it's on average about 3 times more men than women committing suicide. In the UK, it's about twice as much. Europe generally twice as much men than women. And there is as well a reason behind this.
Okay, why?
As a man, we are told that we need to provide, we need to look after families, we need to run the businesses, we need to be strong. And that's changing already, because, well, there is a lot of wonderful business women and support groups for women in business. What's great, because, well, I believe we should equally share everything, including the business space. However, if we, well, combine together the suppressed emotions and the fact that suddenly there is nothing that we can do, it's becoming overwhelming. And well, guys just don't like to talk about problems. I'm sure you know, Brenda, how it is among women.
Oh, yes.
It's easier for you to talk about problems.
Right.
Women are usually more emotional, and that's the letting out the emotions that I was talking about.
So men trying to play that male role, that strong ego.
Yes, the tough guy.
Tough guy, yes.
And when they think that they've lost, they cannot handle it anymore, and they'd rather commit suicide than ask for help.
So they keep it in themselves, and it just constantly keep building and building up, that they can't handle it no more.
That's right. And they smile, they go out, they laugh, they joke, they all jolly and happy. And then suddenly everyone is surprised that he's gone. And well, as a matter of fact, it's similar in case of women as well. They usually don't show the signs of being suicidal at all. So that's the numbers, that's the statistics, that's how it works. And since COVID, yes, because of the, well, situation that we still have possibly across the world.
So we know the men's suicide rate is higher, much higher than the women.
It is, yes.
What about people recognize when they're depressed?
Well, people sometimes do, and not at first, but later on they do, but they don't want to show it.
How do you know you're depressed?
Well, that's our thoughts that are telling us where we are. It's I believe you've heard the stories, because it's very popular, about those two wolves that we have in our head, and one is the good one is the bad one. And the question is, which one is winning, because they keep on fighting with one another. Well, winning, the one that is winning is the one that we feed more. So if we're thinking more negative, if we keep on thinking, oh, they're going to lie to me, they're going to betray me, they're going to, and it's still someone there, and we see danger everywhere around us, and we just don't have a, well, energy, don't have a will to go against it, to find the good in people. We just want to stay away from everyone and everything, because everyone and everything seem to be against us. That's when we clearly know that we have depression. When we have no friend to turn on to and say, well, listen, I have this problem because, I don't know, my partner, I think is, well, he or she is unfair to me. If we don't have someone that we can talk about problems like that with, and it keeps on bugging us, that means we are already depressed. And it's okay to call it that way, because we don't want to call depression. Oh, it's just a bad mood. No, it's not just a bad mood, it's something more. and we
But-
keep on thinking about the problems that might come because, well, of higher power.
yeah.
It's one of those, the higher power. Everything is against us. We don't see the source exactly. Most of those things, they never happen.
But so many people don't know how to deal with depression.
Yes, and the first thing that they should do is to ask professional for help. There is a lot of well, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists as well, if needed. They are stress management coaches like myself who help people.
Yeah, so
And
many people don't have no one to go to. They don't know where to go. They
no,
want to keep it to themselves. You know, and I thank you so much for putting that information out there to let them know.
you're very welcome. Well, my role, my mission is to talk about this to as many people as I can, so they know that they can go to someone like myself. And I tell you right away what's stopping people from going. It's admitting to themselves that is bad is not that hard. At certain point they can do it.
So they have to admit to themselves
First, but then admit it to someone else is difficult because, well, we live in era of social media. Everything is out there. You know, it's in business, in my business, in coaching business, there is a lot of testimonials. Oh, this coach helped me to double my income within a certain time. Yes. And all that. Who's going to think about going to a coach, to someone who is public person like myself, and then, well, record the endorsement? Oh, I was really depressed, I wanted to kill myself, but I went to Michael and he really helped me. People don't want to admit it, don't want those informations to be public.
Right.
And the first thing that people usually ask me about is, well, do you need to tell someone about my problems? And that's what is the most important for them, the privacy.
Right. I was getting ready to say the privacy, and then they're ashamed, right? They're ashamed. Yes. They don't want that information to get out to the public, that they need professional help with depression. So right, it constantly keep building and building and building up till they see no way out. But exactly, suicidal. Is that right, Michael?
That's right. But if they are at this stage, they come to me and they say, well, can I count on you, and can it stay just between us? And I say yes, and we start work gradually. And as we move on, as we build the trust, they open up and they're really happy. I've seen people changing their lives, and I'm sure a lot of my, well, colleagues, coaches and therapists can say exactly the same thing.
So how long is changing? What's the time frame?
Oh, it's different. It's very personal. Some people can, well, change within a month and be perfectly happy. And for some people, it can take a year before they get really back on track. Okay. But you see, what I say, what I encourage people to do is to think about mental health ahead of that. That's what I started from. It's the children. Let them out. Let them get those emotions out. Let them scream. Let them shout.
Let them scream. Let them shout.
Yes.
Oh, but okay. Then, really?
Really, yes. But then, when it ends, let's start to talk about why you've been shouting, why you've been screaming, what really upsets you the most. And here, to all the parents, there is the emotional reaction. a little tip, the emotional reaction usually lasts about 30 up to 90 seconds.
Okay.
So if the child is keep on screaming past 2 minutes, the child is faking it.
The child is faking it.
Yes.
If
Or
it's
just, well, encouraging the state of emotions to continue, well, to manipulate the parent in that case, because the real emotional reaction physiologically lasts about 30 to 90 seconds. That's all it is.
okay.
After that is a choice. Do I still want to feel that way? Or is it all out and I can deal with it?
Okay.
Sometimes it's just a defense mechanism that we continue to feel the certain way, that we trigger the same well, thoughts, the same patterns in our brain. And they are all those bad advisors, the voices that tell you, well, you're useless, no one wants you, and all those things that we do, well, really nasty things that we say to ourselves. If we still listening to them, we are able to continue to feel that way and to like restart the same emotional reaction over and over again.
Let me ask you, does hypnosis help with panic attacks?
When the panic attack happens, hypnosis is not going to help you at all. But in between, it can help you to go deeper into your well, experiences and well, the thinking patterns that you have, and can really help you to understand what makes you who you are. It's I generally like to use hypnosis as a tool in my coaching practice, and it works perfectly.
I want you to explain, because maybe somebody doesn't know out there who's watching the show, they don't even know what hypnosis is. So would you explain that, please?
Yeah, sure. To well, to put it in the most simple way,
yes.
Our brain works on different frequencies, and there is a specific frequency that absorbs everything, and then it's like with the computer, it's just or even better with a mobile phone.
Okay.
Let's say we have mobile phone, and the brain is like our mobile phone. Whatever is downloaded in our childhood is our iOS or Android system on the phone, and everything we learn afterwards, they are just different apps, and they work on the system that we already have downloaded, that it's already in our brain. So if we have some viruses in the system,
okay,
the apps are not going to work correctly. Hypnosis is like an antivirus program that allows you to go to this part of the brain where all those viruses are and eliminate them.
Okay.
That's the simplest analogy.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, it's when we are children,
okay,
there is so much trauma being generated despite the parents, because child only thinks about what child wants. So for example, if child wants to play and it's time to sleep, the child will be unhappy, and because it's a little child that doesn't understand the, well, rhythm, the night rhythm that we have, when we take the child from toys and put the child to bed, trauma is created. Because the child is being denied what he or she wants, and we put it to bed. So each and every situation that child has something happening not the way he or she wants,
okay,
is being recorded as a trauma.
Okay.
Some of them are very little and don't affect us at all, and some of them will become quite serious and can affect everything in life at certain point. Our career, our relationship, our ability to ask for help as well.
So how can we start to make, like, starting it like the children, right? You said that we need to start at an early age to kind of find out the children's mental stabilities, right? So what can parents do to make sure that they have a strong mental ability starting from a childhood?
The thing is that parents, they need to start with themselves.
Parents need to start with themselves?
Yes, because children, they don't learn from what we tell them. I mean, like the little kids up to age like between 5 and 7, they learn from what they see.
Okay.
So if the child see that the parents are weak, even without understanding what it means, the child is going to grow the same way. If there is a lot of arguing between parents, child is going to remember that when he or she has children, well, they're gonna have to argue.
It's gonna be the same thing. It's their environment.
Subconscious, yes, it's subconscious. So the best what we can do is to grow personally. That's the best thing. So as soon as we realize that we have problems, we just need to start dealing with them and grow personally. Just think about ourselves, about what we can do better in our life, what makes us feel better, and how we are becoming better people. It's it's the only competition that we should have. We should compete with ourselves.
Okay.
Am I a better person today than I was yesterday?
Am I a better person today than I was yesterday? Okay.
If the answer is yes, that means you're growing. And with children, kids are more receptive than we think. And if, for example, in the evening, we have a chat with our child and say, well, listen, I had a great day today. What about you? The child is going to tell you what he or she enjoyed or didn't enjoy. When it comes to the things that child doesn't enjoy, simple question, well, how would you like to do it differently to make it better?
Okay.
And kids are going to answer, maybe not at first, but they are going to create stories and change it into, well, something different. They're going to just make up a happy ending. And that's how we teach children that personal development is actually a good thing.
Yes, so that is. It's a great thing. I know I want to get back to, because our time is running out. You know, I'm gonna have to get you back on the show because I have so many questions for you. Let's go back and talk about this panic attack. Is there a cure for panic attack?
Cure? Well, not really.
Okay.
There is nothing that's going to cure a panic attack just like this. We just need to let it pass. If someone has a panic attack, make sure that this person is safe. And like I said, and the treatment is in between panic attacks. It's about helping the person to grow, get better mentally, so the panic attacks don't show up. And a simple thing, it's people have panic attacks because of various reasons. Sometimes, well, it might be because of, I don't know, pigeons. And they don't go to public places because there are pigeons there. And for some reason, they have panic attack when they see pigeon. And as funny as it might sound for someone who's listening now, for those people, it is scary.
It's scary.
Because they walk around, they will make them feel unsafe. It doesn't have to be conscious.
Can a person feel, can a person feel that they have a panic attack coming?
Yes. And they start, well, the breathing gets faster, they get sweaty, they get nervous, they look around, they don't even know what happens and why. They just start panicking and they don't understand it.
But where did that come from? How did panic attack develop? From what?
Well, it's an old experience that was created in our mind somehow. And well, because it's suppressed, it wasn't let out. It's still hidden, but it triggers the same emotional reaction.
So what makes it trigger?
It might be anything. That's what we need to discover. Hypnosis is actually very good to discover what is happening with a person and what triggers the panic attack. I had a client and she had panic attacks on the plane. She was flying, but it was terrifying for her. She was the whole flight. She was just sitting, breathing very shallow, very fast. And she didn't know what it was. And it came out, it was the fear of heights.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, she associated being on a plane with being somewhere very high, and the fear from being that high without any support will trigger the panic attack. It's basically when I put her into hypnosis, she said that she's seeing herself sitting on a chair and she can see all the people on the plane sitting on a chair, but the aeroplane doesn't have a floor.
So you put her on hypnosis right then and there?
Well, I put her into hypnosis in my practice.
Oh, it's your practice, sorry. Okay.
Yes, so we did work through it. She was client of mine, and well, I just kept in touch with her, and after flying next time, she just texted me after landing that she had a great flight.
Oh, that's great.
So it's one of these cases that worked right away. First time, first session, she went flying, everything was okay.
Thank you. This has been great. I believe we have probably about a minute left. It's been
something
great.
Like this.
I want you back on the show because I have so many other questions for you. I know you have a lot to talk about, and I want to thank you. Thank you for your free service information that you're giving out to the public now. I want to thank you very much. Is it anything, Brenda, your last thoughts?
Last thought, well, make sure that you look after yourself on the mental side as well. And what I want you to remember is that stress management doesn't start when it's too late. Stress management starts right now, starts today, because when you think already about taking your life, if you only think about this, that means you're too far off. That means you should have started about 6 months ago. So start the stress management right now, today, meditate, go out, have fun, and thank you very much, because I believe the clock is ticking.
Yes. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Michal. I pronounced it right?
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you very much.
And we'll talk again. Thank you, audience. Thank you for tuning in. And please, please share this video.